there's a family group, if you're not aware. And I went in there before the service to change my little baby Finn's nappies, and because he had made some noises down there in the area. So I was like, it's not good. So I went down there and took the nappy off, and hello, it was everywhere. But as soon as I took it off, this little fire hose started going, because he's a boy, and all over his hair and his face and his eyes, and none on me though, so that was good. And then he put his feet in the brown stuff, and so I screamed for help, and a few mums came running, so it's good. It's good to know that it's all under control. Anyway, welcome to church. This is a part of the service where we come around our tithes and offerings. So there's envelopes there below your seats. So if that's the time that you do that, this time of the month that you bring in your tithes and offerings, or you do it weekly, you can start doing that now. Also, under your seat there's a welcome card. And that card, pretty much, if you want to fill out the details on that, one reason to do that is that you could get on our database, which means that you can get correspondence with us when we send texts out, emails. Also, if you want to join one of the teams, want to know a little bit more about joining one of the teams out there, or a connect group, which is a small group of people that get together midweek every fortnight in small homes or cafes, eat together, pray together, do life together. Really. So if you want to find out about that, you can fill that in, pop that in the offering container as it goes past, and one of the pastors will give you a phone call in the next couple of days. You can do that. Also, there's hosts now coming down the aisle with pens, and if you need a pen, you know, let's have a pen on earth. Especially skinny jeans, it can be a problem. Carrying a pen around. Can't let you know about those. Cool. Well, yeah. So I want to encourage you on your tithes and offerings today. Last week, I was talking about Jacob, if you remember, from Genesis 28. And pretty much to sum that up really quickly, like I said, he went on a journey to find a wife. And on that journey, he had a dream, and God spoke to him in that dream. And God really just said for quite a few verses how much he loves him, how much he wants to bless him, his heart for him, and what he wants to do with his descendants, his family. He wants to bless him financially and build his life. And Jacob believed God, which is amazing, isn't it? He went, wow, oh, that's amazing. And he believed that in his heart. And from that revelation, he started tithing. He gave back to God 10%. It says he gave to God 10% because he was like, wow, what an amazing revelation. I'm just going to give back to God what he has given me. So that was awesome. And this week, I want you to turn to Malachi chapter 3, verse 6. Because I think it's one thing. It's one thing to believe about tithing. You're committed to do that. Another thing, it's part of your heart. It's part of the expression of how you see God. But my challenge tonight is, what about the different seasons of life? It's easy to do it when things are going good. But what about the different seasons? That's why I love this scripture. It is one of the most encouraging scriptures in the Bible. It's pretty simple, but that's good. And then this is what it says in verse 6: I am the Lord, and I do not change. What a great scripture. I am the Lord, and I do not change. Meaning that whatever the circumstance, whatever the situation, maybe you're in transition now, which is in between jobs. That's what we call it in the life of the church. You're not unemployed. You're just on your way to a better job than you were. And maybe that, or maybe there's other things happening in your life, other challenges that you have. Well, I want tonight for you to look at that scripture, write it down, and just read it to yourself. I'm the Lord, I do not change. And be encouraged that God, every single promise in here is for you. And it's not as if God just does it when he's feeling good, when he has a good day. No, his promises are internal. He says he's the same God yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And if you look at Jacob's life, he is testimony to that. He goes to find a wife, it says, if you read on, he gets tricked into marrying the ugly sister, and he worked 7 years, and then he got tricked. It's quite a funny story. And then he actually marries the right girl, and then they can't have children, and then it says his wage fluctuates 10 times within that season of his life, but he stayed faithful. If you look at the end of his life, he lived a blessed life, and he lived a big life, and he stayed true to what God spoke to them. So I hope you're encouraged tonight. Great. Give you a second to fill in your input. Also, in the life of the church, we have something coming up on the 28th, Sunday the 28th of June, and it is the Heart for the House offering. We had our seed offering last year, so I'm sure some of you are aware of what that is. And what it is, it's a one-off offering to put church in a position that we can take it forward. You know, so what we're doing is on that Sunday, we're going to be asking people that, I know there's people who have really put money aside every week to bring it in that day. And it is about taking church forward. And you know what taking church forward is about? It's about taking people's lives forward. It's all about people, and that's what it's all about. And we've got 3 things we're giving for on that Sunday. A volunteer hub, which we've got a Dominion office there. And we want to turn that to a volunteer hub where we have media, graphic design, AV, all types of things. You know, the magazine we have out, we want to take that to a whole nother level. So that's one thing we're doing. Also, we want to set up a production hub in the city somewhere so that all our trucks and vans can load, unload, and really take the midweek life of the church to a whole another level. And also, the last thing is to a permanent install of the gear in Surrey, which means at the moment we've got a truck that goes out there and each Sunday, but we want to free that truck up so we can make capacity in the life of the church for an East service, another service, in the life of the church. Also our high schools midweek area. So it's very exciting, and really looking forward to that Sunday and what we can do, really. So, but church is all about people, and what we want to do is take a little look now at someone's life that's been changed. He just come back from China, and he was talking to me after the last service, and I was saying, so what's the thing you miss about church the most? Is it the praise and worship? Is it the word? Is it this? And he goes, to be honest, it's seeing people's lives change and seeing people's lives go forward. And I love that answer, because that really is what church is about. It's about seeing people come in, discover God, and seeing their lives transformed. Now we get an opportunity